Archbishop Curley High School, where we're seeing the Chapelgate Christian Academy versus your Archbishop Curley Friars. Starting off with a three by Nyan Carroll. Watch Curley to look to do the half-court trap. They're going to look to always try to push the pace, try to trap. Always looking to use the active hand, try to get steals. Early foul by Todd Gray up top. We are joined. I am Alex Petter, and we are joined today by Patrick McDonald making his first announcing debut.
How you doing,
How's
everybody?
it feel?
It feels good. It's exciting. My first time commentating, so I'm really looking forward to seeing some good basketball today.
Yeah, we look like we have a good one today.
And so the starting lineups for Chapelgate, we got number 12 Alan Chambers forward, number 2 guard Marvin Cofield, number 11 guard Jamin Jacksfelder, number 4 guard Kendall Mitchell, and number 23 guard Jordan Prelo.
Dobbins looking to set up a play up top. Swings the Boyk in the corner. Long mid-range, a little short. Chapelgate looks to take it up the floor.
Mitchell with the rebound.
Good active hands by Nyan Carroll. Out to Denari Boykin with the easy right-hand finish. Curley still staying in the press. Long cross-court pass. And a traveling violation called.
Number 11, Jamin Jacksfelder, is a freshman starting for Chapelgate.
Early timeout by Chapelgate. And with 6:21 left in the first quarter, it is 4-0 Curley. Patrick, what have we seen so far?
So far, I've seen Curley really pushing the pace and playing some tight-knit defense so far. And it's really exemplified by that turnover right away.
Yeah, that's the key. Curley's always going to look at the active hands, push to play their pace, play their kind of game. And now we break for the timeout. It'll be Chapelgate inbounding on the side. Or no, Curley inbounding on the side.
Another key point to the game is Josh Knapp for Curley coming back from that hand injury. He's a big presence up in the paint.
Nyan Carroll taking it up top, up to Knapp. Swing, drives left hand.
He's fouled.
And he will go to the free throw line to shoot two. Knapp rolls the ball in his hand. His first one up and good. Nice way to start your comeback. Quick early points.
Yeah, I think that's really important for Curley. Knapp is he's a junior and he's big and athletic, and like I said, he's a presence in the paint, but he can also hit the perimeter pretty well.
Yeah, little inside outside game. He can really do it all. Nyan Carroll still pressing up.
Again, seeing some good pressure by Curley on the defense in front so far.
Chapelgate looking to swing up top. Swing to the corner. High arcing three-pointer.
Just missed.
Short. Dobbins takes the rebound. He calls a play. Looks for a pick up top from Knapp. There's a corner to Carroll. Back to Carroll. Drives baseline. Back out to Dobbins. His three-pointer. Bang!
Bang! Dobbins knocks the three down. Curley up 9-0 now.
A hot start by Curley so far. They love shooting the three-pointer and they love pressing. That's what they've come out and done so far. Good pass inside. A little long. Another traveling violation called on Chapelgate.
That was really good by Curley right there to close the distance on that possible three-point attempt.
Chapelgate just coming out a little too quick there. They're trying to force it instead of just waiting, letting the Curley player go by and just get into the basket. Dobbins again looking for another pick up top. Long three-pointer off the back of the rim.
Good rebound by Knapp there.
Sloppy pass by Dobbins. That'll be a turnover for Curley. Todd Gray picks him up on defense. Driving inside. Seems to slip and fall, and it'll be Curley's ball.
I'm noticing a lot of double teams right off the start from Curley already. That's going to be important to try and keep up the whole game because it seems to be throwing Chapelgate off their game a little
Inside
bit.
to Dobbins, back out to Knapp. Up to Carroll.
Out wide. Can't get it to fall.
Dobbins almost with the near rebound. Chapelgate looking to push for the first time this game. Back out for three-pointer. In and out. And the Knapp in the corner. Carroll mid-range. Just off. Aaron pass. Dobbins. Pull up. Bang!
Bang! There it is. Curley already up 12-0 right now, and that defensive pace is going to be it might be hard to keep up, but if they can keep it up, they've really got something good here against Chapelgate right now.
Curley playing hounding defense, staying with their man all the time. Up and under move, no good. And a reach and foul on the ground. Timeout by Curley, and with 3:27 left in the first quarter, it is 12-0 Curley. Quite an impressive start, Patrick.
I'd say so for sure. Curley only out-fouling Chapelgate by 1 foul so far, so not really much in the way there so far. Good to see Curley keeping up the pace, though.
Yeah, they always love to do that, and they came out hot this game. Now it's about sustaining it. Last time we were here in a home game, they almost blew a 20-point lead, having it just same kind of start like this. It's all about keeping it up, though.
Exactly, and right now Dobbins is hot. Out of the 12 points Curley scored, he's got 6 of them, so if he can stay hot, already got a couple rebounds as well. Look for him to keep up his good start.
Yeah, Dobbins playing great, and we haven't even got to Ty Lawson off the bench. I mean, he's gonna be playing great, a big role off the bench.
Exactly.
Long three-pointer, a little short. Ill-advised shot early in the shot clock. Dobbins on left-hand pull-up. Bang!
Dobbins just knocks it down. He's
a hot hand early. Ty Gray picking up three-quarters court. Staying with him. Into the corner. Chapelgate looking to just get some kind of offensive spark here. Inside cut. Great recovery by Niall Carroll.
Curley's fast-paced defense so far is really keeping Chapelgate to the outside and forcing them to take these long threes that they probably don't want to be taking.
That is great effort by Niall Carroll, staying with that. But it's really been Curley's defensive effort that's really kept Chapelgate from getting any type of offense going. The corner, driving baseline, and Chapelgate finally a chance to maybe put some points on the board. First one on the way. Good, and now Chapelgate finally ends the 15-0 spell. Second free throw on the way.
And it's good. And then again, that's their freshman guard, Jamin Jax Felder.
Into the corner by Boykin. Back up top to Dobbins.
And there's a travel. Yeah, I can hear you. Travelers.
Chapelgate throw in under Curley's basket. Trying to drive baseline.
He's stripped, but he recovers.
Into the corner this time. First field goal note. Boykin takes the rebound. Drops it to Dobbins. To Carroll. Free throw line extended. Dalen Brandon up top. Looking for Lawson on the cut. Great little pass.
Back out to Nyan. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Prelo.
Swing to the corner now. Nyan Carroll card for the armbar. Chapelgate to throw in again, this time going back to the corner. Up top again.
And even with some recent fouls, Curley's still up 15-2 with a minute left in this one.
Yeah, they look very impressive throughout this first quarter. Inside pass, great defensive recovery by Boykin. Ball still loose. Boykin takes it, long pass to Nyan Carroll. And Dobbins looks to push left. Changing hands, almost finished.
Scramble for the ball.
Lawson with a great scramble for the ball. And we'll be going Chapelgate this way. A great effort by Lawson on the play, though. Curley's still pressing. It's like 15-2 lead. Great hands by Lawson.
Lawson looking to get it to Dobbins.
Dobbins going behind the back. Kickball violation underneath. Not a very smart play there. Could have just taken it with his hands, but
yeah, exactly.
Still be an underneath throw for Curley.
That would have been pretty important for Chapelgate right there, considering they had a chance to get some nice points there.
Curley looking to slow it down, taking one shot for the quarter ends. Carroll dribbles with his left. Dobbins still looking. Fakes an up top pass. Drives left. Out to Boykin, his three-pointer.
Can't get it to go.
Still
it's a rebound.
Oh, David Brandon just couldn't get the English on the ball. But after one, it's 15-2 Curley. Impressive defensive and offensive performance all around, really, for Curley so far. What have you seen, Patrick?
I agree. On defense, as we said, keeping the pace up, really putting some pressure on, and then also just on the offensive front, some nice spacing. Nice passing. I've only noticed maybe a couple errant passes, but besides that, I think Curley looks good offense and defensively.
And they found the hot hand, Travis Dobbins.
Dobbins.
Very, very hot so far. Very, very hot.
If Dobbins can keep that up, I don't think there's any stopping Curley today. But Chapelgate certainly seems capable of being able to make a run, though, if they can find a hole in Curley's defense. So.
Yeah, Chapelgate really needs to come out. They've been setting for long three-pointers. Really, their best strategy is to get to the basket, try to get fouled. That's one way to break out of the slump.
Exactly.
The best feeling in the world for a shooter is to see the ball go through the rim on free throw shots. That's how you start getting your three-pointers to drop. So look to see them try to push it inside. Curley will inbound to start the second quarter. Carroll inbounds to Dobbins. Over to Lawson. Over to Carroll. Over to Dobbins, the hot hand. Drives baseline. Possible contact. And Chapelgate ball. Dribbles off his own foot. Dobbins with the recovery and the layup. Right place, right time, right there. Great defense by Dobbins. Oh, that was... I'm not sure if I can say I agree with that one, but I'm...
Neither can I.
I'm so... My job is to be objective, so I'm going to go with it, but that was very close. Very, very, very close.
Chapelgate subbing in Jason Perfader. He's a forward, number 3. So let's see if maybe he can provide the offensive spark that they're looking for.
Chapelgate looking to call a timeout after that shaky second quarter start. Not the start you want to it, the quarter.
And after a couple more baskets, Dobbins up to 11 points on the game already. He's got 11 of their 17 points.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking great so far. Chapelgate definitely needs to look more calm coming out of this timeout. It's one thing they've seemed to lack here is the calm.
Yeah, they seem to be a little bit jittery already, and just they need to settle it down, like you said, get some fouls. They're already up. They already got Curley up to 5 fouls, only 1 for themselves on the game.
Yeah, they're just playing Curley's game, which is to push it fast and to shoot long 3-pointers so Curley can get runouts. Driving right, corner, high arcing 3-pointer. Short. And an over the back call called on Chapelgate.
Another just 3-pointer, long range, high arcing 3-pointer that they're probably not wanting to take, just built in by Curley's pushing defense right now.
I mean, it's one way to come back shooting 3-pointers, but that's not against this Curley team. That's not the way to do it. Especially when they haven't been falling. Carroll left side. Back to Dobbins. Back to Carroll once again. Bang!
Dobbins with the assist on that one.
Dobbins' active hands almost saves it. Almost goes crashing into Mr. Kogler and Mr. Hatton. Slim Tim Scard over there. Almost ran into him too. Can't forget about him. Chapelgate pushing it down the side. Pump fake.
And they can't.
No good.
And they can't get that one to fall.
Curley almost recovers, but Dobbins loses it out of bounds.
Chapelgate's still without a field goal here. Only 2 points coming off of free throws.
Yeah, this is brutal. I mean, you gotta finish those inside. I mean, top of not being able to make it 3-pointers, you gotta finish little layups like that where you got them open. Chapelgate looking to swing right. Back up top, looking to get the high post. Stolen.
Another turnover for Curley.
Great pass by Brandon to Lawson with the left hand finish. Great play. Unselfish play. Carroll playing the hounding defense. Apparently 2 hounding, so I see we called for another foul. And now he'll be substituted out for Todd Gray. Coach Darnell now rips into him after getting into a little bit of foul trouble. Nothing wrong with a little good hard defense, but he must disagree.
Yeah, Curley's defense is playing hard right now, but you don't want to play too hard. You can't get one of your best players like Nyan out the game too early.
Great block by Brandon. Chapelgate retained, but Curley's playing great defensive recovery so far.
And Curley also has a lot of depth on their team as well. I mean, as you can see, Josh Knapp hasn't had to be in the game in quite some time now, and it showed that they have really good depth to provide both offensive and defensively.
Yeah, they have depth and length. Every single guy can defend almost every position on the floor. No, I'd put Ty against almost anyone on Chapelgate right now. I believe in his defensive efforts. So. And Chapelgate finally with the
Marvin Cofield with the first field goal.
Little mid-range high arcing shot. Lost in the corner by Curley. Chapelgate looking to push. Going all the way down the floor. Little right-hand floater. Short.
Yeah, and that's the first field goal of the game for Chapelgate. We're 5 minutes into the second quarter. 5 minutes remaining, pardon me, in the second quarter. First field goal for Chapelgate. Curley up 22-4 at the moment.
Apparent miscommunication leads to a Curley turnover down there. As this deficit could be more for Chapelgate if Curley could clean up a little of the sloppiness. But left-hand finish, now the second field goal.
That's Felder over to Cofield. Looks like so far only 2 contributors for Chapelgate on offense. Let's see if some of their other guys can get going.
Dobbins inside. Great unselfish pass to Todd Gray. Who pumps and gets fouled.
Chapelgate really seems to be starting to pick up the pace here on defense, but that seemed to be a little bit too aggressive, leaving some guys open.
Todd Gray could have finished that. That way, he shouldn't have pumped there, but still good to the free throw line. Try to get your 2 points. First free throw off rim. Second free throw is off rim right. Great offensive rebound by Denari Boykin.
Getting out to Dobbins. He can't let it go.
Boykin with another offensive rebound. Gives it up to Todd Gray, who almost finishes. Watching for Dalen Brandon at the end. Almost comes in with a little putback jam. See him getting up there.
Yeah, and Curley getting 2 fouls on this possession already.
That's what you got to do. Even if you don't finish it, if you stay with it, I mean, that's big.
Exactly. Another one off the rim on that one.
Perry's second free throw. Finally gets a roll in. Curley continues with the press. They're daring him to go to the corner. They're daring him to go to the sideline. Smart strategy. That's exactly how you're supposed to play that.
Yeah, exactly.
Risky pass.
It's very risky right there.
Bailed out by a foul, but that is risky against that kind of zone. And now Chapelgate will now be in a 1-on-1 type situation for the rest of the quarter.
The speed and just handsiness of Curley, that was way too risky to attempt, especially down on a 23-6 deficit right now.
Yeah. Curley has a guy sitting right at half court just for that type of scenario. He wasn't able to bite on it, but not a smart move to go there.
Chapelgate can't get it to fall down. They get the rebound, it's a turnover.
They recovered the ball, but just bad pass at the end. Nice idea, but bad execution. Dobbins taking it up the floor. Chapelgate trying to pressure at the half court. Oh, but then no one covered the back door. Tiger's easy right hand. If you're going to pressure out there, you got to have somebody back there. You can't just leave yourself naked open like that in the back.
Nice layup there from Curley. Get some more points before Chapelgate's possession.
Up top for Chapelgate. Left side. High arcing three-pointer.
Lets it fly. Cannot get it to go down, but it's a rebound.
And a travel before the block by Dalen Brandon. Geez, Curley's hands are all over the place on these blocks. Every shot is contested. Unbelievable. That is the kind of defense level you need to win a championship. I mean, this obviously isn't a championship type environment, but I mean, it's the little stuff you need. Todd Gray with a great putback.
Great putback right there. Chapelgate is being overwhelmed, simply put it, right now, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, everything they're trying just isn't working. They're trying to Boykin with the steal, crossover, almost went back court, but finishes with a good right hand. Really putting great press on so far. Good disciplined press. Good up and under move. That's how you get around the shot blocker like Dalen Brandon. A little up and under and just finish on the other side.
They're going to need to get they can do a couple more of those and stop Curley's offense right now. Who knows? But they're going to need a couple more of those and type plays.
Pass inside contact, but no foul call. Galen Brandon fouls at 3/4 court. And there'll be another bonus free throws for Chapelgate. And with 2:42 left in the second quarter, it is 29-8 Curley. 101 here for Chapelgate. First one, good.
And also just going back to that depth that we were talking about with Nyan Carroll having to come out of the game early because of a couple fouls, and just showing that Curley really hasn't lost a step even without one of their star players.
Yeah, it just kind of shows you it's really just a plug and play. A lot of players can do fill a lot of different roles in this. And that's not to mention missing Cameron O'Banner in this game, and Caleb Johnson. And right now Burt hasn't even checked in yet. Lawson taking it up the court.
And right now, number 2 for Chapelgate, Marvin Cofield, is their leading scorer with 6 points. He's got 6 of their 10 points right now. Let's see if he can
inside pass to Boykin.
keep it up as well.
Gray. He's out to Dobbins, his three-pointer. A little short.
Cofield's going to need to keep up those scoring ways if he wants to get his team back in this one.
Chapelgate holding it up top. Looking to set up something here. Loose ball.
Covered by Curley.
Lawson up front. Almost finishes, and now he will go to the free throw line. Lawson with the great defensive effort. Him and Dobbins have really been the two game changers in this one. Both with active hands, both scoring on the offensive end. Really dynamic players.
And good fast break also by Lawson, really trying to get an and one, but knowing that there was a guy coming right down him.
A lane violation. He seems to count out the first one before he even took it. You don't see those often, but it happened. Lawson's second shot is good. Or second shot was good. Curley still staying up in the press. Long, loopy pass. Curley just a step away on everyone, but Chapelgate hits the mid-range.
There's the freshman Felder right there.
It didn't look like a freshman there, playing with that kind of moves, but showing a little more than a freshman poise right there. Nice little give and go. Nap in the corner now. Out to Lawson. He looks to shoot, but pulls back. Swing back to Lawson. And Gray tied up with Chapelgate.
Getting some fresh legs back in there is always good, especially for Curley when it's a guy like Knapp.
Yeah, to keep that defensive intensity up, you need to really be giving it your all, then switching out quickly. And Chapelgate will get on the jump ball. We're trying to get at least something going here. A score or two would help tremendously going to half. The difference between 18 and 14 is huge in a game like this. Inside for Chapelgate. Swinging it around. Could have taken a three-pointer there.
That's just sloppy play, exactly.
Sloppy pass.
You got to know when to take the shot and when to pass it, right there.
Yeah, ball movement's good, but at a certain point, you got to shoot that. As Curley was fouled on the drive, now an inbound throw underneath.
Still slowly but surely, Chapelgate starting to chip away at that lead, down 18 now.
Dobbin looked again to Todd Gray. Back to Knapp. Swings up top. Galen Brandon right side. To Dobbins in the corner. Gray up top to Knapp. To Lawson, who takes a long three-pointer. Bang! He makes that one.
Lawson getting to go down. And if Lawson can keep that up after the free throw and then three.
And a foot violation by Chapelgate gives the Curley ball back right underneath. Into Knapp, who turns. To Lawson again. Long three-pointer. Bang! He makes another one. Curley now finally dropping out of the press.
It's like clockwork. As soon as Dobbins they start to slow Dobbins down a little bit. Lawson picks up his hot hand. Good defense by Lawson as well right there.
Long kick out. Lawson with the opposite hand finish on the left side.
Lawson
Throwing ahead. Gray with the steal. Half-court shot. Oh. A little rush, but
10 straight points there from Lawson.
not a great way to close at the half if you were Chapelgate. From being down 18 in the final minute to being down 38 to 12, not a great way to end the half. But as we go into the half, it is now Curley 38, Chapelgate 12. And with 20 seconds before halftime, we resume our broadcast with Curley leading 38-12, against Chapelgate.
And it looked like Chapelgate was starting to get a little something going there until Tide lost and really began to turn it on there.
Yeah, I mean, they had a chance with a minute left in the half to really get back in it, but they let Curley pull away now.
Both Dobbins and Lawson have 11 points each right now, so contributing 22 of their 38 points so far.
I know, they're looking great so far. Look for them to keep looking for their shot in the second half. As second half is now underway, Chapelgate looking to do a little what Curley does, pressing Nyan Carroll. Curley gets away from it though. Carroll three-pointer. Gray with the offensive rebound. Goes baseline, pump, and we'll go to the free throw line for two. Patrick, what do you see from Chapelgate that'll remedy this 26-point deficit so far?
I mean, so far I'm noticing, I don't know if playing Curley's defensive strategy, like pressing, double teaming, I don't know if that seems to be working for them, because it just seems to be resulting in more fouls and more guys wide open. So I think they just need to space themselves out a little bit, play a little bit more zone. And yeah, I just think they need to kind of back off a little bit.
Yeah, need to kind of lull Curley, because the one thing about Curley's press is that if they don't get the steals, if they don't get the pressure, you can beat them back. You can beat them backside. But Curley's very disciplined, so often their recoveries make up for any lapses in the defense.
Exactly.
But Chapelgate has been beat multiple times last half on backdoor cuts, little over-the-top passes.
And Todd Gray also for Curley right now has 7 points as well, so definitely not too shabby for him right now.
Yeah, Chicks dig the long ball with Dobbins and Lawson, but Todd Gray's been doing the dirty work.
And he's been, he's taking a lot of free throws today. He's been really just getting up in there and getting some crucial fouls and some crucial points for Curley.
Yeah, I mean, you need one of those guys on every team. The guy that's just going to get the offensive rebounds.
Exactly.
Hit the high post, get the little turnaround jumpers. Every team needs one.
Yeah, and nice little floater attempt, but just put a little bit too much, a little too less on it, I should say.
Curley, great ball movement. Oh, just off Todd Gray's hand.
And I mean, if Curley wasn't already just doing enough this game, getting Nyan Carroll back for the second half.
Chapelgate now looking to take it up the floor. Looking to finally score their first points of the half. Spacing seems to be a lot messed up with 4 guys to one side, excuse me. Now they've remedied it a bit. Still swinging it up top though. Not being able to make progress against Curley's tough zone.
And Curley only allowing one guy, well, now 2 guys in the paint, but even when they get in the paint, can't do much with it.
Long air ball that goes off. A shot clock violation called though.
Curley's really keeping Chapelgate to the perimeter, only for the majority of that possession, only 1 guy in the paint, 4 guys on the perimeter.
Yeah, Chapelgate really needs to swing the ball faster. If you're going to beat a zone, it's got to be quick movement, not long, loopy passes. That's just not how you beat it. Not how you beat that type of disciplined zone. Curley looking to swing it around again.
There, guys, just
hot potato right now.
What ball movement for them right now?
Each one's like, I don't want to shoot it, you shoot it. I mean, it's really a joy to watching good basketball like that. Long 3 by Chapelgate once again. And this one goes down.
And that's Felder. Felder, the freshman, Felder and Cofield really seem to just be the only 2 that are making any offensive accelerations for them right now.
Yeah, when he took that shot, he had the confidence of a senior right there. I mean, from the hash mark on that side of the floor, I wouldn't have taken that, but I mean, it's your prerogative, man. Take that.
Like you said, confidence. They don't really seem to be having much confidence in any of the shots they're taking so far. So a nice confident shot like that could really do a lot to get them back in the game.
Dobbin misses the 3-point in the corner, but Brandon cleans it up, almost finishes. Gray stays with it, and Curley gets another possession.
Felder with 7 points at the moment.
As we call timeout with 5:43 left in the third quarter, Curley extends their lead to 40-15.
Is there anything that you could see from Chapelgate right now that you think could let them get back in this game, or do you just think Curley's just too dominant in this one?
I mean, Curley's been playing great. There are stuff they can do to maybe cut in the lead 8, 10 points. I mean, overall, just playing with more effort, better shot selection. But Curley's really just been playing well. This is the best I've seen them all year. This is just efficient offense and defense. As Chapelgate has broken the huddle while Curley's still in it.
Chapelgate really needs to figure out like an identity right now, because they need a best of both worlds. They need to take it at their pace, because Curley's fast-paced offense and defense is just too overwhelming. But they, like you said earlier, they need to slow it, to take it at their own pace, but also not slow it down too much.
Yeah, they need to stop shooting the 3 ball as much, because Curley can live with that because they can get inside whenever they want. They really have not gotten the 3-pointer to fall. That's great. Take the 3-pointer, comes up short.
Good contest right there from Chapelgate.
Chapelgate looking to push inside. Brandon contests. Chapelgate recovers. Elder with the
Elder
playing like a junior, senior right now. That's the kind of confidence they need to at least cut into this somewhat. They're going to try to trap Kara up top. He gets it over to Dobbins. They try to trap Dobbins. Todd Gray turns. Fires, little mid-range jumper, and that's 9 for him. Chapelgate looking to try to set up something offensively. They need to be quicker on these swings. Nice idea there, but miscommunication there.
Chapelgate, just as an overall, two starters of theirs are seniors, so having a nice young guy like Felder really goes a long way to helping out their program in years to come.
Yeah, having a guy like that, a young guy that can play like that is nice. As Curley stays with it.
Good paint defense from Chapelgate right there. They just can't seem to
finish off the possession. As Curley keeps on recovering, Todd Gray stays with the loose ball. Todd Gray just scrapping for the ball, just not giving up. He catches turn mid-range.
Curley is just simply out rebounding, just based purely off of their energy. Like Curley's energy on these rebound attempts just appears to be far and away better at the moment.
Yeah, the height difference isn't obvious in this game, but by looking at the rebound differential, you would not think so. As another bad pass leads to a Curley steal. Inside to Gray, who leaves it short. Just need a little bit more of a touch there.
Have a chance for some fast break points. They try and slow it down, pull up for a 3, and that's a long 3.
Long 3-pointer. Brandon gives it to Gray on the right side. Brandon drops it back to Dobbins. Now he will start the offense. Carroll goes high post. Dobbins blows easily past the defender. Looks to the corner. As there'll be a foul on the floor on Chapelgate.
It looks like we're going to get a chance to see Rhinell for the first time this game, as well as Ty coming back in.
It'll be a nice chance to see Rhinell Burt, our freshman. He'll be nice to see in the next coming years. In down to Brandon. He turns over his shoulder and finishes with the left hand. Chapelgate takes down the floor once again. High post. Swing outside again. And just picks up his pivot foot too early.
And again, just Chapelgate looking like their first read is just to pull up for a long 3.
Yeah,
That's Curley suffocating defense right now. It's just too much for them to handle.
Yeah, just looking at their eyes, you can see they want to take the 3 every time. Every time they can catch it from the damn near the logo, look to pull up, but maybe that's not the best idea for them at this point. As they try to swing it around again. Out for 3. Another high arcing shot that goes short.
Rebound by Nyan Carroll right there.
Maybe he should try to shorten up his stroke a little bit. He's looking a little long there. Try to bring it down a little bit. I know from experience that high arcing shot, it looks pretty, it looks real nice, but just it doesn't go sometimes. As Curley's sloppy pass leads into a turnover.
And I'd even go as far as to say right now is that Curley's interior defense is probably even better than their perimeter defense, which is hard to believe considering how good their perimeter defense has been. But that's the main reason why they just keep pulling up for threes, because they've just acquired so many turnovers off that interior defense.
Yeah, they've just been, the reason they've been pulling up for threes is because there literally just is not anything open in the middle. Oh, a close foul there, but Brandon swats it into the wall. Close call there. But when you're down 27, you tend to get those kind of calls. Chapelgate's first free throw goes in. Now up to half their halftime total this quarter. Second free throw on the way is good. This is what they kind of needed to get to the free throw line there. They really need to do that more often. They really, unfortunately, did not. As Dobbins goes baseline with the left hand. Beautiful finish.
Curley also staying a little bit more disciplined so far in this half. Only 2 fouls.
Yeah,
and I think that's also a little bit of something on Chapelgate is they're not causing as many fouls this half so far. So they need to really start pushing the pace a little bit more and start getting some of these fouls to get some more points.
Yeah, they just seem content. They're kind of just living with the three-pointer, which when they're not falling is kind of hard to do. Lawson with a three-pointer, almost in.
Rebound by Perfader right there.
Swinging to the corner. Just sloppy passes. Good idea there with the Curley zone in tight, but just not a good execution though.
Dobbins bringing it up the court now. Over to Lawson. Over to Carroll. Lawson with it now. Inside to Rynell. Out to Dobbins. Dobbins pushes the pace.
Great left-hand floater by Dobbins. The Curley lead now extended up to 27 at 48-21. With 50 seconds left in the third quarter. Inside for Chapelgate, no good. Put back, no good. Way short, an air ball taken by Rynell Burt. Goes behind his back. Now back up to Dobbins. He will try to set up the offense with 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Just putting it between his legs. A little dribbling drill right there. Carroll into Burt. Drives right hand. A little long right there. Risky pass by Chapelgate. Stolen. Dobbins. Pump fake. Burt. Rejected inside. As he seems to lose it, and Chapelgate will take it with 7 seconds left in the third quarter.
Good defense and effort there by Lawson, really being able to create that turnover right off the change possession.
Chapelgate pushing it inside. Dalen Brandon having a block party today. He is looking great inside. Chapelgate looking to get one final shot before the quarter ends, and hits the front rim. And as the third quarter ends, Curley goes into the fourth quarter, 48-21. Patrick, what did we see in that third quarter?
In that third quarter, like you said, I saw Chapelgate more just okay and just fine with taking long threes and just hoping they go in. I mean, like I said, Curley seems to be a little bit more disciplined, and Chapelgate seems to be a little bit more just less into driving and trying to get fouls. I mean.
Yeah.
And right now, Dobbins, 16 points, just all game. He's just been a presence, and like you said, Brandon also up in the interior, really just having, like you said, a block party.
Yeah, I mean, really has been. I mean, offensive and defensively, we've had guys not just in the offensive, but on the defensive end. Lawson, Brandon, Gray. I mean, it really really it's a team top-down effort here right now.
And right now, only playing a couple minutes so far, but his impact has been felt already, especially on the defense. His defense has been stellar already.
Yeah, I mean, look for him to be in probably a lot in for those final 8 minutes, if not all of the 8 minutes. So. as both teams look to break for the final period. Chevy looking to at least get something. Comeback looking very unlikely here. Not impossible, but very, very, very unlikely.
Very unlikely, but if the Patriots can overcome a 25-point deficit in the Super Bowl with a quarter and a half to go, who knows? It's sports. Anything's possible.
I mean, unless three-pointers start counting as seven-pointers, I don't think that's going to happen. But Chapelgate can at least look to try to at least kind of get back in this game, get kind of respectability. As they move it around up top. Long three, higher.
Can't get it to go. Rebound by Felder right there.
Inside again. Driving right hand. Kick back out for three in the corner. And that is good by Chapelgate.
Finally get it to go down. And
finally, the start of the quarter, they actually won it for Chapelgate. As they come out with a little half-court pressure there. Making it kind of obvious that they're going to trap Lawson as soon as he gets over. Burt hesitant for a second.
Can't get it to Knapp on that one.
Could have just taken two power dribbles there and scored, but it makes sense. I mean, always looking to try to give it up, trying to be unselfish, get to the other players. Long three-pointer by Chapelgate, no good. Right now, Burt takes it, spins, gets it to Carroll Long, who is stripped, but it'll still be a Curley ball underneath.
The 24 points from Chapelgate so far, only coming from a grand total of 3 players, Cofield, Felder, and Mitchell, so they're going to definitely look to get some of their other players more involved in the offensive scheme, but Curley's suffocating defense is really just that, suffocating.
Goes down. Lawson along with Dobbins, both being the hot hands from the outside today. Chapelgate looks to get it inside. Cross-court pass.
Felder with the 3 attempts. Can't get it to go.
As Lawson looks to take it down the floor there.
Playing off a little bit now.
Lawson, three-pointer in his fit. No. No good.
Rebound by Prelo right there.
Loose ball foul by Josh Knapp. As Chapelgate will take possession and look to go down, get a score.
Good crowd attendance today for this game, for sure, for both sides.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. Going to get it left side, Chapelgate. Swinging across court.
Felder almost recovering that. That could have been another errant pass, but Felder makes a good play to keep that out of bounds.
Tries with the spin move, but just not working there. But the nice defensive recovery, though, to stay with it.
Perfader with the steal.
Joe tries to drive in, loses the ball, though.
Knapp with the recovery, pushing it up.
Gives it back to Lawson. He'll try to start the offense now. Waving Carroll over. Carroll could have taken the three-pointer, but pulls it back out. Isolates one-on-one, gets the pick from right now Burt. Mid-range. No good. Loose ball foul on Knapp, but that was questionable right there.
Like you said, I suppose up 51-24. At least got to get a couple calls to go to your way.
Yeah, questionable call there. I know the butt was illegal to use, but it is 51-24. I can see it. I can see that.
Felder thinking about pulling up for it, passes it out.
Chapelgate still looking to swing. Tough hanging shot. Not the best what you want for Chapelgate there. And you finally look like you're having some good ball movement, and then you take a wild, erratic shot like that. Not the best. Going for Dalen Brandon. Looking to go baseline here. Nice jump stop and finish with the right hand. Gets the defender right up in the air, just finishes right under him.
And Curley's pace seems to have slowed down, but only slightly, it appears. They were able to keep that up the whole game, and even right there, forcing another errant pass.
Sloppy pass by Chapelgate. Curley will take possession now. As a quick moving fourth quarter, as there's only 4:30 left now in the fourth quarter.
Curley seems to be taking a little bit more time on their possessions now.
Carroll looking to Gray in the corner, who goes left baseline. Back out to Burt. His three-pointer, bang!
Burt knocks it down.
Burt showing a little bit of touch from the outside. That is always nice to see, a freshman with a nice young touch on the outside. Chapelgate still looking to swing. Now we go inside. Left-hand floater, a little long, but good.
Good putback.
Nice hanging one.
Right there by Marvin Cofield. Another, just one of those guys so far that's been producing for Chapelgate on a day where there hasn't really been a whole lot of production.
Inside to Carroll. Great give and go. Great to Carroll. A little bit of the Curley brotherhood right there. A little give up, get back. Give a little, get a little. I mean, that's the way basketball should be played. Chapelgate looking to swing it around. Inside, Cofield. Ooh, left-hand finish with a touch right there.
Nice little jelly right there.
Yeah. May not be the prettiest jelly of all time, but it went in. It went in. As Carroll isolates right side. Looking to take Cofield one-on-one. Lawson left side. Swings over to Carroll. Swings over to Lawson. Back to Carroll. Back to Lawson again. Back to Carroll.
And wouldn't you know it?
Oh, a little erratic as the shot clock expires. Not touching rim. Mainly two-person possession there. A lot of Carroll and Lawson there.
Curley really, like I said earlier, minimizing their fouls. Only 4 this half when they acquired, I believe, 8 in the first half.
Yeah, really not taking their foot off the gas because they clearly have scored a lot this quarter and still first turnovers, but really coming out of the press and not using their hands as much to foul.
We're seeing a new player come in for Chapelgate, Zachary Knox, number 5. He's a junior, playing forward.
Lawson gets it over half court. Cofield picks him up there, but he swings over to Carroll. Chapelgate pressuring out, but not really forcing much, so just letting Curley just stay out there. Carroll drives by, looks for Lawson, and pulls it back out once again, but they jump the pass. Chapelgate finish with the right hand. As Curley keeps just swinging around. Gray with it up top. Going to drive by left. Back to Lawson. Shot clock under 10 now. A little mid-range by Lawson, who gets the shooter's touch right there. A great game for Lawson, as now Curley's now doubled Chapelgate's point total, 60-30. As Chapelgate with 1:15, we'll call it a timeout as Chapelgate finally sinks a deep three-pointer. Fortunately, this one will not count, though.
And for Chapelgate, they're getting one of their seniors in there, number 10, Leo Way. He plays forward. Looks like he's coming in now.
As the game winds down, what have we seen so far in this game from Curley and from Chapelgate?
Curley is just absolutely suffocating defense, only letting Chapelgate acquire 30 points right now. And then also, just on the flip side of that, getting 60 points on their offense right now. Chapelgate, they really, honestly, I don't think they were ready for this Curley team. I don't think, frankly, this crowd was either. This is one of the best Curley performances that I think I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, they played well in the other games I'd seen, but this was a more polished read of it.
And kudos to Chapelgate, really still playing with some hard energy out there. Only a minute and 15 left, but still fighting for some points.
Yeah, always respectful to see that. As they look to swing it around, get some kind of final points for this game end. Looking inside. Floater off the rim. And Curley looks to slow it down. Almost to a dead hole at this point. Carroll isolates. Bird up top. Pivots. Goes right. Ooh. And we found Cofield as Bird got him leaning a bit. Bird
Right.
pulling out the little moves right there.
Right now is a young, quick player, and he's definitely going to be a nice piece for Curley varsity for years to come.
As Lawson goes into the backcourt to receive the ball. As Curley now, the shot clock differential only being 3 seconds. Curley really has to might not even take a shot, honestly, might just let the clock run, but we'll pretty much have one possession for the rest of the game.
Like I said, look, Chapelgate. Chapelgate could be just slacking off here, but they're
Steal.
playing hard.
Burt slaps the backboard, but Cofield with the score. And as the clock runs down to 6, down to 5 now. Nyan Carroll dribbles the ball out, and it looks like Curley will finish this game, winning 60-32.
Yeah, what a game from Curley. They're just playing some really great offense, really great defense. Yeah, I mean, and then top scorers for this game: Lawson, 16. Dobbins had 15, and Cofield finished with 14 for Chapelgate. 14 of their 32 points, and then Felder, he also came out and had a great game as well.
Yeah, just a great overall game from Curley. Chapelgate, not the worst performance ever, but admirable at the end to the effort, but just not lacking in execution now.
Mm-hmm.
But your final score, Curley 60, Chapelgate 32. And this is me, Alex Petter, for Patrick McDonald, Nick Andrews on stats, Ricky Gauntz, Noah Sains, and Will. This is Curley Basketball signing off.